Photon energy, E equals hc over lambda. H is Planck's constant with a value of 6.626 times 10 to the negative 34th joules times seconds. C equals the speed of light with a value of 3.00 times 10 to the 8th meters per second. Lambda is the wavelength. Be sure you express it in meters. 10 to the negative 9th meters is 1 nanometer. There's another important equation. Nu, which is frequency, is equal to c over lambda. So you see this, it also shows up right here. If you make a substitution, you have E equals h nu. Again, nu is frequency, and it's measured in the units called hertz, which are the same as inverse seconds or 1 over seconds. Let's do some examples. Say we were asked what the frequency and wavelength is of a photon whose energy is 6.25 times 10 to the negative 19th joules. The two equations we'll use are E equals hc over lambda. This will allow us to find the wavelength. If we just rearrange it, we get lambda equals hc over E. And of course, this number that we were given is the energy. The other equation we have for energy is E equals h nu. We can rearrange that to nu equals E over h to get the frequency. And again, we are given the energy. Let's plug in the numbers. In finding the wavelength, we have wavelength equals lambda equals hc over E. H is 6.626 times 10 to the negative 34th joules times seconds. C is 3.00 times 10 to the 8th meters per second. And E is 6.25 times 10 to the negative 19th joules. Remember that one was a given. When I plug this all into my calculator, I get 3.18 times 10 to the negative 7th, and the units, let's see, joules cancels, seconds cancels, and I'm left with meters. That's 318 nanometers. That's a reasonable wavelength for light. This will actually put us in the ultraviolet region of the spectrum. To find the frequency, we have the equation nu equals E over h. Our energy was 6.25 times 10 to the negative 19th joules. And our Planck's constant, h, 6.626 times 10 to the negative 34th joules times seconds. When I punch that into my calculator, I get 9.43 times 10 to the 14th, and joules cancel, so the units are inverse seconds or hertz. All visible photons have a frequency something times 10 to the 14th hertz.